As HR professionals, we are responsible for managing the employee's life cycle from onboarding to offboarding. But while we are so busy supporting employees, how can we support ourselves? When our careers plateau, how can we boost our marketability and stay relevant? The answer? HR Certified. Whether you are new in your HR career or an experienced vet, HR Certified is here to support your HR career goals by helping you navigate the certification process. Why certify? Passing the certification exam gives you instant credibility, respect in the workplace, as you immediately apply new skills, making you better at what you do. Upward mobility, by enhancing your earnings potential and career autonomy. We offer on-demand and fast-track certification test preparation courses. At HR Certified, we fully embrace our role in bridging the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Join over the 500 graduates before you. Take the next step in your career. Get HR Certified. To learn more, please visit www.gethrcertified.com.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today on a very exciting topic, which is very passionate, is a passion of mine, which is professional development and how you can use it to really give you an edge. And so I want to begin off and outside of saying thank you, let me know where you're from. How did you find out about us? How you're joining us? Where are you joining us from? I want this to be a conversation and not a presentation. I am here for you. I have dedicated my entire life in the craft of professional development as being a non-traditional profile in the HR industry. And so this is actually a dream for me, is that I'm able to share what I've learned over these many years with you and how you can really tap into that. So if you're there, I know I'm on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're also on LinkedIn. Let me know where you're from. Put it in the chat. I don't know you if you're there until I see you out there. I see you, Ryan. Thank you so much. Somebody's tuning in from Atlanta. I see you out there, right? So make sure you chime in as we're going through this. So really, hi Melissa, how are you? Hi Ryan, thanks for tuning in. I see some people from California. Okay, you're up early. People here from Atlanta. Hi Danielle. This is great. This is great. And if you can do me a favor, and if you are here because you really want to lean in on how you can get the edge out in these LinkedIn streets, out on these HR streets in your professional environment, I need you to put a 100 in the chat. Let me know that that's what you're here for. You're not here to waste no time, right? Hopefully you're not logged onto your computer, and if you're on the clock, right? But this is time invested into you. And so let me dive in. Again, my name is Anthony Howard. I'm the founder and CEO of HR Certified. And I am dedicated towards the attraction and upskill of diverse talent in the HR industry. We're also are looking to be the HR person for you. As you know, HR is not HR everywhere. Some of you may not even know who your HR person is, right? And then for those of you who are in HR, who's your HR person? All right. So that's what we're looking to be. And why not start off in an aspect that's very important to all of us as we are partnering with other people, and that is professional development. I see these hundreds in here. I like, you know what? I like the 100 icons. I like that, not the number, the emoticon 100. That's what I'm talking about. I see you from Atlanta. I see you from Michigan, out here as well. So we're going to begin off with, actually, and I've shared my story, but I retired from corporate America last year. And when I did that, I went on this journey of becoming a full-time entrepreneur. And in that journey, I became a member of the Forbes Coaches Council for my thought leadership and human resources. So what better way to start this off than to begin off with a full-page article on all I know about professional development. And so that's what this session is going to be about, is a really high level of, if you decide to invest in yourself, which you should, what that best practice look like, because it's a sacrifice to professionally develop and invest in yourself. I need another 100 in the chat if you have taken the commitment this year to invest in you, to invest in yourself, and in order to professional develop. Can I get 100 in the chat if that's the way you feel? Because if that's the case, that's the energy I need for the follow-up on how you can really maximize your investment in time and effort into professional development. What has just been placed in the chat is a link to my profile on Forbes, as well as that article that I'm going to reference. Now, I'm going to ask a question, and I need y'all to put it in chat. What's the difference between career management and career development? I ask my students this all the time when we're going through the process of preparing for certification. Put what you think in your own words is between career management and career development. Put it in the chat. The reason why this is important is because you have to have the right perspective in mind as it relates to your goals. I know that when I first entered this profession, I thought the only my only trajectory was based off what my employer told me my trajectory was, right? I thought my options was limited to where I was. But the reality is it's not, right? All of you have a gift. It's meant to be shared and it's meant to be nurtured. And I coach to lean into your strengths, not your weaknesses, not your opportunities. Lean into where your strengths lie. And so with that, the definitions that I'm looking for here is career. All right, there's some, here is development is a strategic process as it relates to where you're trying to go, your own development. That's right. Career development is where you want to go. Career management is where the company wants you to go. And again, there's nothing wrong with either one of those, but you got to have it into perspective as it relates to which journey you're going down. You're going down the journey of where your company wants you to go, or you're going down the journey of where you want to go. And a pure example of this that I like to use all the time is, everybody, how many of y'all seen that Amazon commercial where that nurse went on the packaging line and Amazon invested in that person and gave them tuition reimbursement, and they wind up finding into their profession? Did y'all know that commercial? Y'all remember that commercial? That was career development. That was, hey, come here and we will invest in you wherever you want to go, even if that's not here, right? There's a different type of motivation that's there when you're supported to where you want to go, regardless of whether or not it's from an employer or from yourself. So this is where we're going to lean in on this. I'm going to share my screen, share my entire window here. Okay. All right. What I'm sharing with you are the 7 steps to maximize your commitment to professional development. And I want to, at a high level, go through each of these steps. The first one is Align your development to your passion, to what you want to do, and your current capacity. Also, very important is that you have the bandwidth for whatever it is you're looking to pursue. That is the baseline of supercharging your investment into professional development by really aligning this to your passion. What's your passion? Do you have an industry that you're interested in? Where is it that you want to go? The second is, once you decide what that passion is, you should establish your baseline. And what I mean by that is, our view on ourselves is definitely a lot different than probably the reality of things. And so here in this step, you want to know where you truly are, especially if your passion is connected to other people. What's the best way in order to establish your baseline when whatever you're passionate about has a technical competency or something that is related to other people? And that's 360s. Those are self-assessments. Those are pre-tests that are going on. You need to know where you truly are, as it relates to what you're trying to develop. And I know at HR Certified, what we do for the exams is, before we start off, we need to establish your baseline. You need to take a practice test, because this is a thing. Why give everything equal energy? Just really lean into the areas that you wish that you need to develop. You may have already developed in certain areas. So take the self-assessments, see where you are, and develop on that. Some tips here is, the books that I love to use is Strength Finder, is Emotional Intelligence, and then anything that can assess your technical competency if you're looking to pursue a technical type of role. In for HR and for certification, practice tests will really get you to establishing where you are, because you shouldn't give everything equal energy. Otherwise, you're wasting time. The third step is having a good mix of goals and ways to be able to accomplish them. And what I mean by that is, if you are going to be let's say, a project manager, an adjacent, great adjacent designation for HR professionals is the PMP. If you decide to become a project manager, you just don't want to get that certification, right? You want to build on those soft skills that are aligned to being a successful project manager, right? So that might mean that you need to brush up on your technical expertise in order to keep track of all these different projects that's out there. That might mean that you need to develop your network in the industry that you're looking to go into, right? So all of those things are you not only want to focus on technical competency, but you also want to focus on the how. We are in a service-oriented type of industry, which means that you can't just be technical and not have soft skills to go along with it, right? So I'm a stop for a second. How many of you work with people that are technically they are genius, but they get on a bulldozer and roll everybody else over trying to accomplish results? Don't nobody want that, right? You want to develop and have that balance in between that. Now, I need to stop for just for a second. Are y'all hearing me out here? Y'all, is this some good stuff? If this is some good stuff, I need another 100 in the chat. Y'all, are y'all hearing what we're saying here? Right. Number one, lean into your passions. Right. Number two, establish your baseline. Get a realistic view of where you are. And then third, get a good mix of goals, technical and soft skill, to keep you competitive. Let's keep it going as it relates to the steps, right? The next step is tap into your network. Tap into your network. Stop being a lurker. Don't be a lurker. You're only as good as your network. And I don't think I realized how important that was until becoming a full-time entrepreneur. Because we know us HR people, we are ones that we like to see stuff from afar and analyze and all of this. But the reality is, for your own personal development, and this is coming from a person that's been in HR for over 20 years. Yes, and I'm dating myself. You gotta nurture your network and do not limit your network to just your employer, right? Reach out into other areas, other domains, other industries that you're in. And as an HR professional, you should be tapping into the network of the industry that you support, right? If you're in a union, you need to know more about these unions. If you're in biofarm, you need to be where your people are, right? Because the one of the coaching items that I tell HR people all the time is we're business people first before we're an HR person. Because HR, we're here to help support the business, right? How can we do that if we don't know what it is, right? Tap into your network, utilize your network, and also when you tap into your network, make sure that it's genuine and that it's reciprocal, right? That you there's a balanced approach. Don't tap into your network just when you need them, right? You need to be able to nurture that, and that's a process to be able to do that. But you're only as good as your network, especially if you need them if you're no longer with that employer, right? The next is celebrate your successes. I'm gonna stop sharing just for a second on this one. Um, um, we accomplish a lot of little wins, and we don't give ourselves enough credit for them, right? I tell HR professionals all the time, those little wins, you go into your performance review, your template, and you capture that on LinkedIn, capture that on your resume, capture that on your goals, capture that in a Word document, because we accomplish a lot, and by the time we're done for the day or the week, we may have forgotten it. Don't do what I did, which was wait until it's time to do the performance review. And then I'm going through all of my emails because nothing's official unless it's in writing. I'm going back through all of my emails to capture all of my accomplishments. Don't wait until the end of the quarter. Don't wait. Do that as you go. How many of you got a lot of wins and y'all forget about them by the time it's performance review? Give me a 10 in the chat if that's you. If I'm talking to you, if that's you, you can relate to that. let me know about that in the chat. All right, we're going to keep it going here. All right. So we are still going through the 7 steps to maximize commitment. After you celebrate your successes, you also need to find an accountability partner. And that partner is one that will not tell you what you want to hear, but to really tell you what you need to hear, right? And those accountability partners could be leaders within the organization that you're currently in. It could be a mentor that you have. It could be somebody within your network. It could be someone in our HR masterclass. We pair up people that are for the same goal, and we're holding each other accountable. Look, it could be your partner. It could be somebody within your family. Whatever that is, you need to be able to find somebody to keep you accountable, because we are great at setting goals, but it gets harder as time go on. And you need someone to be able to help out. And that may not necessarily be a friend, right? That might be someone that's definitely in for your success and that can have the tough conversations with you. And you also need to be ready to accept that feedback, right? If you don't have an accountability partner and you get mad at them when they finally tell you the truth, right? Feedback is a gift as well. And then the last step is your professional development journey does not end until you're able to share what you learned with someone else. That is absolutely essential to be able to close the loop. That's how you are able to tell that you've learned it, when you're able to transfer it somewhere else. All right, what do you guys think about that? This is I didn't want to keep y'all too long as it relates to this. Let me know in the chat how you feel about this process, and how you've applied it in your professional development goals. And also let me know what your goals are. What are your professional goals? How would you like to level up? And so I had began off this conversation letting you know that right now is a dream come true for me, um, which is my ability to be able to not only share my knowledge and my experiences in professional development, but also really lean into our vision of becoming HR for you. And so you might ask yourself, what does the heck does that mean? And what that means is that imagine having a person or an organization that's leaned into developing you, right? That your development plan is based off where you want to go, right? Without the bias of or the slant of organizational gain, right? And so that's what we're looking to do, and I'm honored to be able to have the capabilities to be able to do that. So the first one is related to the fact that if you are a non-traditional profile in this space, if you were to close your eyes for about 5 seconds and open them and think about the most quintessential HR person in your life, more than likely you're not going to see a black male as that person, right? Our demographics are changing. And in my mind, it only makes sense that if HR is supposed to serve as an example, that it should start that HR should serve as an example of the way that its demographics it matches its customers as well as its employees, right? So with that, there are unique challenges that a non-traditional profile face. I face them all, right? And I've heard those stories from those that have been a part of previous classes that I've done since, oh my goodness, since 2018. And so with that, I'm proud to announce that we have launched a community along with our strategic partner, Wanna Do. What you wanna do is click the link, and being able to provide that necessary environment and space for us that may not necessarily be readily available for those that don't have the traditional profile. So some of those examples, and there is a link in the chat if you want to do that, is being able to network with other individuals. I can tell you when I first started this, in most environments, I don't see people that look like me. Sherm, it doesn't look like me. When I go to the Sherm conference, if I see somebody look like me, I acknowledge them from afar. Say, "Oh, okay, there's another one," right? And it can feel lonely, right? It can feel lonely in these spaces. So to be able to network and build community with individuals that to assure that I'm not alone in this space, as well as our allies, to be able to support is absolutely essential. And then also the network, right? You're only as good as your network, but where do you begin, right? So to be able to network, like our network is your network, right? Also resources to be able to pivot, or if you're going through career transition. One of the spaces that we have is called Art of the Pivot. And in it, we have guides to be able to help you in your transition, right? Are you looking for another opportunity? And to be able to do it in a way where, it can be, discreet, right? You can do that as well. And then also be able to have those conversations. Now, the name of our community is HR Offline, right? You know what offline means. Hey, let's take that offline. But the reality is there's a lot of topics that needs to be discussed that that we still need to have a discussion about, right? And so an environment in which we can have those necessary offline conversations without the fear of judgment, right? Other things is inspiration, right? Sometimes these days can be really tough. And so, being able to encourage one another, and in particular emphasis as it relates to providing an environment for you to nurture, fail forward, as well as health and finance. All those things are always things that impacts the way that we're able to show up and to be a part of a movement, right? Diversity, equity, and inclusion in HR. DEIB is dying. And so we're looking to continue the conversation. And so what I want to wrap up with this in saying is, and last but not least, oh my goodness, is that we also have a university, HR certified university. And in it, it is powered by our strategic partner, Mind Edge Learning. So they are on the levels of Skillsoft, of also LinkedIn Learning. These individuals are from MIT, Harvard Business, all of that, right? HR people, we don't stand up products or people unless we truly believe in it. And there you can obtain courses for everything. And so there, I talked about a lot, and I'm sure a lot of you are just like, oh my goodness, what is Anthony going to post today? But this is the reality. We are on a different train, on a bullet train to increase our capabilities to be able to support you, HR for HR and HR for the front line. And I hope that you join us in this journey of that by one, joining our community, following us. And there is a link tree link that's out there, so you can keep up to date on all things HR certified. I hope that this brief session was one that was beneficial for you, one that really gave you the tools that you need in order to professionally develop. And I invite you to come to our HR offline workshop to learn more about our community and how we are uplifting, supporting each other in this space, because this is a very important work. And I appreciate you in investing your time in me, as well as HR certified. And we will. And if I can get one more thing before you guys leave from out of here, if y'all enjoyed today's little mini brief session, can I get another 100 in the chat that this was beneficial, that this was a good use of your time, that you want us to continue to on our current trajectory? That'd be great. And how you can really show up is to share us on these platforms, like, engage, and also sign up for our events, including our free events that we're going to be a part of, which is HR Unbox, which is tomorrow, as well as the one that we're doing in June during the SHRM conference, because the majority of you can't go. Okay, why? Because you don't maybe have the money or the support, but we still gonna give you all credits and some good old fashioned training, right? That without the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas, because y'all know y'all not gonna go to those sessions, even if you did go. Okay, I need to reach out to Janet and say, why are you here? Right? All right, guys. Well, keep up with us. Look forward to seeing you out in these LinkedIn streets, and enjoy the rest of your day.